Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Lexter Dale Tison and this topic is chapter 4.1. I'd like to answer number 22 and 23. Determine a region whose area is equal to the given limit. Do not evaluate the limit. First is number 22. The limit of n goes to infinity, summation of ito, 2 over n times 5 plus 2i over n raised to 10. So to answer this, we know that interval of a to be is equal to fx times dx is equal to the limit of n over infinity delta x summation of n equals to 1 f a plus I delta x. So where delta x is equals to b minus a over n. So to confirm this is we got the value limit of infinity over summation of n to the interval of 1. 2 over n is equals to 5 plus 2i over n raised to 10. On comparing, we see that delta x is equals to 2 over n, a is equals to 5, where delta x is equals to b minus a over n is equals to 2 over n. Just substitute the answer like this. And b is equals to 7. So to how do we find b is like delta x is equals to 2 over n. Find b. Or delta x is equals to b minus a over n. Therefore, b minus a over n is equals to 2 over n. Multiply both sides by n. Then b minus a is equals to 2. Substitute b plus 2 and substitute 5 to a and b equals to 7. That's how you find b. Then and f of x is equals to x raised to 10. Therefore, the limit of n goes to infinity, summation of 2 over n interval square times 5 plus 2i over n raised to 10 is equals to the interval 7 and 5 x raised to 10 dx. We conclude that this sum represents the area under the curve y is equals to x raised to 10 and above x-axis in the interval x belongs to 5 and 7. That is the answer to question number 22. Okay, to the next one is number 23. limit of n to infinity is a summation of n interval is equals 1 pi over 4n tan times I pi over 4n. Remember that the interval b a is equal to fx dx is equals to the limit of n to infinity is delta x, and summation of I is equals to 1 f a plus I delta x, where delta x is equals to b minus a over n, and it goes like this. We sub the formula is equals to the limit of n to infinity summation of pi over 4n and times 1 tan times I 4 over 4n. Just like the other one, on comparing, we see that delta x is equals to pi over 4n and a is equals to 0, where delta x is equals to b minus a over 4n is equals to pi over 4n, and b is equals to pi over 4, and f of x is equals to tan x this. Therefore, the limit of n raised to infinity summation of n I is equals to 1 pi over 4n tan times pi I pi over 4n is equals to the interval between pi over 4 and 0 tan x dx. We conclude that the sum represents the area under the curve y is equals to tan x, and above x-axis to the interval x belongs to 0 and 4 pi over 4. To show the graph of this, just graph this one, this to 0, this is pi over 12, pi over 6, and pi over 4, 0 0.2, 0 0.4, 0 0.6, 0 0.8, and 1. So the graph like this, and it's a curve like that. And that's how you show the graph of between 0 and pi over 4. Good morning again. My name is Lexter Del Revolotison, and this is for chapter 4.2. I'd like to answer number 17, 18, 21 to 24, and exercise number 33. For the first one is number 17. lim and to the limit of infinity is summation of n, its interval is equals to 1. 1 minus x 2i over 4 plus x 2i delta x, and between 2 and 6. The problem is express the limit as a definite integral on the given interval. To do this, just replace limit with replace limit with interval a and x star I with x delta x with dx, and the interval 2 and 6 is equals to a and b. So just substitute what we replace in is equals to limit n to infinity summation of n equals to 1 minus x 2i over 4 plus x 2i delta x is equals to interval between 6 and 2, 1 minus x 2 over 4 plus x 2 dx. So the final answer is the interval between 2 and 6, 2 to 6, 1 minus x squared over 4 plus x squared dx. This is the final answer. And next is number 18. The limit of n goes to infinity, summation of n I equals to 1. Cos x over cos x delta x is going to show pi and 2 pi. To answer this, just do b over a f of x dx is equals to the limit of n goes to infinity, summation of n I equals to 1 x I delta x. And to answer this, just the definition of a definite integral. The definition of definite integral is just is defined to be exact the limit and summation that we look at that find the area between a function and x-axis. Also note that the notation for the definite integral is very similar for an indefinite integral, which means that the limit and summation infinity is to n equals to 1 cosine x over x I delta x on interval pi and 2 pi is equals to the interval 2 pi over pi cos x over x dx. That's how you solve it. Okay, to the exercise number 21 and 24, use the form of the definition of the integral given in theorem 4 to evaluate the integral. Number 21 is the integral between 2 and 5 times 4 minus 2x and dx. We know that the formula is like this: dx equals to lim n to infinity x summation n I is equals to 1 f a plus I delta x, where delta x is equals to b minus a over n. And here f of x is equals to 4 minus 2x, where a equals to 2 and b is equals to 5. Therefore delta x is equals to b minus a over n is equals to 5 minus 2n is equals to 3 over n. And then to answer this, just continue, is equals to the limit n goes to infinity 3n summation of n I is equals to 1 f over, just substitute the value 2 plus I times 3 over n. Continue to solve limit n over to infinity to 3 over n. Summation of n I is equals to 1 4 2 plus 3i over goes to infinity 3n, and then just 2 times is 4 minus 4 minus 6i over n is equals to 4 is equals to 4 minus 4 is equals to 0, and then just minus 6i over n is equals to the limit n to infinity minus 3 times 6 is 18 over n squared, and then just substitute n I is equals to 1 is equals to n plus 1 over 2 is equals to n goes to infinity minus 18 over n squared times n plus 1 over 2 is equals to
Good afternoon. I'm Joseph Marvin
the limit of 9 of n goes to infinity minus 9 is equals to n plus 1 per n 9 is equals to, just substitute answer the question is equals to minus 9 over 1 plus 0 is equals to minus 9. So the final answer is negative 9. Okay, for problem number 22 is interval between 1 and 4 and x squared minus 4x plus 2 dx. We know that the formula is BA fx dx is equals to the limit and goes to infinity delta x, the summation of n is equals to 1 f a plus I delta x. That is the formula, and where delta x is equals to b minus a over n. where here is fx is equals to x squared minus 4x plus 2, where a is equals to 1 and b is equals to 4. Therefore delta x is equals to 3 over n. So limit of n minus to infinity is 3 over n.
Hirap mo amin
The summation of n I is 1 plus 3i over n squared minus 4.
Afternoon. My name is Joseph Marvin Esquarte, an electrical
No.
and I would like to answer
It's lim
question 22 to 23. Determine a rate
lim and goes to infinity
the given limit.
is equals to 3n
I would like to answer first.
to n I is equals to 1. F function of f is 1 plus I times 3 over n.
We know that
That's it. And is equals to
the limit
the limit of n to infinity 3n and 1 plus 3i over n squared minus 4 plus 1 3i over n
afternoon.
plus 2
Marvin Esquarte.
is equal to
And I would like
the limit of n minus n line to infinity.
22-23. Determine a region whose area is equal to the given limit. Do not evaluate the limit. So, I would like to answer number 22 first.
Thus squared
Integral of
is to 1 plus 9i squared over n squared plus 6i over n plus
delta x
minus 4 minus 12i over n
positive
plus 2
infinity with the summation
is equals to
and I equal 1.
limit n goes to infinity
Plus
3n
I delta x. Delta x. Then
1 plus 9i squared over n squared plus 6i over n minus 4 minus 12i over n plus 2 is equals to the limit to infinity 3n. So limit is n goes to infinity 3n summation of
okay,
9i squared over n squared minus 6i over n minus 1
number 23.
is just the summation to distribute the summation to each of everyone is equals to limit n goes to infinity
Integral of
3 over n 9 over n squared summation of I squared minus 6 over n minus 1
limit
and then just substitute
n and I equal
summation of
a plus I delta
I squared is equals to
n
n plus 1
x
times 2n plus 1
a over n.
over 6
22.
and
So,
summation
I
of
will write this again.
n is equals to I
Limit
n plus 1 over 2 to this equation. Then it's equals to limit n goes to infinity 3n to 9 over n squared times n, just the first n,
We see that
n plus 1, and 2n plus 1
delta x
over 6 minus 6n times n, this one,
over
n plus 1 over 2 minus n.
equal to 0. So like
Then just
minus a
solve for the value is equals to the limit n
n
to
equal
infinity
5 over
3n
4n
is simplify
5 over 4. Okay.
3n plus 1
F of
2n
x
plus 1
equal
over
tan x.
2n, just
Therefore,
minus 9n plus 1,
wala na, patay na.
ano, it's 3 n plus 1 minus n is equals to limit n, then multiply 3 to the equivalent 9 n plus 1 2n plus 1 over 2n squared, n times 2n is 2n squared, minus 9 n plus 1 over n minus 3 is equals to limit n infinity 9 over 2 times n plus 1 over n, 2n plus 1 over n minus 9 times n plus 1 over n minus 3 is equals to limit n infinity 9 over 2 1 plus 1 over n, 2 plus 1 over n minus 9 1 plus 1 over n minus 3, and then simplify the value of n is equals to 9 over 2 1 plus 0 2 plus 0 minus 9 plus 1 plus 0 minus 3 is equals to 9 minus 9 minus 3 is equals to minus 3. So the final answer is minus 3. Number 23 is interval between 0 and negative 2, x squared plus x dx. To solve this, to evaluate this, we know that the formula is b f of x dx equals to
Parang hindi MacBook yan? Nagawa akong MacBook eh.
delta x n equals to 1 f a plus I delta x, where delta x is equals to b, where x is equals to x squared plus x, where a is equals to minus 2 and b is equals to 0. Therefore, delta x is equals to 2 over n, where limit of n goes to infinity 2 over n, n 1 f is equals to minus 2 plus I times 2 over n is equals to the limit of n goes to infinity 2 over n, summation of n is equals to 1 minus 2 plus 2i over n squared plus minus 2 plus 2i over n is equals to the limit of n goes to infinity 2 over n. The squared just property is equals to 4 plus 4i squared over n squared minus 8i over n plus minus 2 plus 2i over n is equals to the limit of n goes to infinity 2 over n summation of 2 plus 4i squared over n squared minus 6i over n is equals to the limit 2n distribute 5 1 2 plus 4 over n squared I squared minus 6 over n I, and then all you need is just substitute summation of n I squared is equals to n plus 1 2n plus 1 over 6 and summation of n I equals to 1 I n plus 1 over 2, then just substitute is equals to limit n to infinity 2n plus 2n plus 1 and 2n plus 1 over 3n minus 3 times n plus 1 is equals to the limit of n goes to infinity 4 plus 4n plus 1 and 2n plus 1 over 3n squared minus 6n plus 1 over n is equals to the limit of n minus to infinity is equals to 4 plus 4 over 3 n plus 1 over n times 2n plus 1 over n minus 6 times n plus 1 over n is equals to 4 plus 4 over 3 1 plus 1 over n 2 plus 1 over n minus 6, 1 plus 1 over n is equals to 4 plus 4 over 3, 1 plus this is 0, 0, 2 plus 0, minus 6, 1 plus 0 is equals to 4 plus 8 over 3 minus 6 is equals to 8 over 3 minus 2 is equals to 2 over 3. So the final answer is 2 over 3. That's how you evaluate. Number 24, integral between 0 and 2, 2x minus x3 dx. X equals to 0 to x equals to 2. And delta x is equals to b minus a over n is equals to 2 over n, and xi is equals to a plus I delta x is equals to 0 plus I 2n is equals to 2i over n. Then express the integral as limit and 2x minus x3 dx is equals to the limit of n to infinity delta x is equals to the limit substitute 2y over n and 2 over n is equals to 2i over n minus 2i over n cube is equals to 2 over n. I equals to 1. 4i over n minus 8i cube over n cube. Then just continue. Equals to limit n 8 over n squared, because multiply this one. And equals to 1 pi minus 2 over 2 n squared I cube. Factor out 4n.
Okay. Next question.
May safeguard. Divide minus 2 that's it 16 over n 4 times n squared n plus 1 squared over 4 equals to limit n 20 2 equals to 4 plus 4n minus 4 minus 8 over n minus 4 over n squared is equals to 4 plus 0 minus 4 minus 0 minus 0 is equals to 0. The final answer is 0. For the last number is number 33. The graph of f is shown. Evaluate each integral by interpreting it in terms of areas. A. Integral between 0 to fx dx. B is 0.5 fx dx. C is interval between 7 and 5 fx dx. And the last is D. Interval between 0 to 9 fx dx. And first one is equals to 4 in terms of areas, and the second one is number is 10, and the third one is minus 3. Now for the last one is interval between 0 and 9, and the integral from 0 to 9 is the sum of the two integral above plus the areas. So it means that 5 0 is equals to fx dx plus and plus the interval between 7 and 5 fx dx plus interval between 7 to 9 fx dx is equals to 10, the interval is 10 and 3 plus the number between 7 9 x dx is equals to 7 plus 2 plus 2 minus 1 over 2 is equals to 2. The answer to letter D is 2.